Hello everyone, and welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix with Apex Racing League. It is of course then Spa-Francorchamps. I am of course still driving my Williams. So as usual, you join me on my outlap for my quali lap, and as you see it is just starting to rain again. We had a wet start to the session, so all the times will be pretty much reset. My 53.4 there is a long way off my best, so got Rani there just behind me in the Red Bull, lining up my lap now. So this is going to be my very first lap. My first lap was on dry tyres, but it was pretty wet. You can see it's starting to rain now though. Again, I believe I might have just missed the best of conditions actually, but I'm one of the last across the line really. Slowing it right down now into the first corner then. Last source. Coming down to Eau Rouge now then. Using half my curves, DRS is wide open then. Full throttle of course Eau Rouge. Beautiful corner from there. Looks fantastic. Doesn't feel great to go around in this game. But we're there now. Up the top of the hill. DRS is wide open to run down the Camel Straight. Coming to the end then. So as I said, I'm splitting this to be up. I don't think anyone's set a massively good time yet. And I am indeed 1 second up on pole position. Almost a second up on myself as well, so I got a pretty good first sector last time, but I'm pushing very hard now. Trying to of course get the most out of these conditions, but also need to make sure I get a lap in. Because of course if I don't manage to get this lap in, I'll be very far down the field. I'm only 4th at the moment, but everyone's on a lap and everyone's going to improve. So coming on this fast left-hander now then, on the way down to Pouon. Pouon's a very tricky one, especially in this game. If you run over the curb too much, it can push you right out wide. So I actually went a bit too cautious in there, but better to do that and run out wide. Rani's actually sticking pretty close to me. Victor now does the fastest lap of 46 too, so a lot faster than me. What's that? 7 seconds faster than me? So certainly the conditions are a lot better now than they were. Coming to the end of the second sector then. Let's hope I'm up. Well, I will be up myself, hopefully up on pole. Not quite half a second down. DRS wide open now for the next corner. Oh, got lots of oversteer. I have to get on the brakes. Right on the grass. Loads of oversteer. Rani goes flying past me. I tried to stay out of his way. Well, that's completely ruined that lap. I'm still going to carry on because I probably will still improve it despite that few seconds at least lost there. Oh, that was disappointing around Blanchimont. And into the bus stop chicane. Only just a fast lap to take pole position. 45.8. I come to the line, of course, I'm going to be nowhere near that, but hopefully I go a bit up from 9th. And indeed, oh no I don't, actually I stay 9th. Stay 9th, so look there, Rani, 4th place, so I think I would have just about beaten him. So that would have been 4th place, and I think I was only half a second down of Victor, so look at that. I had, as long as I was within 3/10 of Victor's final sector time, I would have been 3rd, so disappointing quali. But there we go, I'll do my best in the race now. As we have a look at my setup. Fairly similar to last year, a few tweaks. Still one of those full gear ratios that I complained about last year, but it's certainly faster in quali. And I don't think it may affect you too much in the race, so I'm sticking with that, despite all my complaints last year. Pitching on up 13 for a set of the options, and going for normal fuel. So there's my teammate then on pole position once again, congrats to him. Very strong in quali. I wasn't looking like pole, but I was hopefully looking like a top 3, which would have been a lot better. And back down in P9, second to last unfortunately. CLBZ there, just ahead. This is a split 3 driver, been promoted, he's very fast, go away from the lights now then. Trying to minimize wheel spin, doing a pretty good job of it actually, yeah, very good job of it. Going to Rich of course, a little bit slow start then, already past David on the left there. And think about if I go up the inside of CLBZ, but no, think better of that. And oh, there's a bit of contact there, oh, as Rani there, spinning the Red Bull, taking out Mike in the other Sauber. So that's gifted me, that's, well not gifted me I guess. Those two were gifted, but the first one was 1. So it's 3 places so far there, so it's looking pretty good, already up to 6th place. So he's trying not to lose too much time to the leaders. You can see him just ahead there, not far at all at the moment. And trying to stay in someone's slipstream here. The Sauber, as we know, is very fast in a straight line. And he actually just backs out of there, lets Iger have the place I believe, but Iger's running a little bit wide. And he gets a bit of oversteer. I'm going to go up his outside then to this next corner. He just give him a bit of room. Just push me right out wide onto the grass. I don't think he pushed me, I meant just trying to leave him some room, push me out wide. And that's, as long as he doesn't come to the inside, but I think he's going to go for up the inside. Oh, he gives me a bit of a push out wide there. And I'm going to have to leave him room once again. And he once again runs off track there, comes flying back on, almost touches me, but not quite. Still up his inside there though for this next corner. Coming now into Pouon. And I've got the inside lines, that should be me. That was David I was fighting then, the Red Bull. And he's still very close behind me though. I'm going to try and take the inside lines to the next corner, which I've managed. And it looks like the position's mine. Certainly didn't make it easy though, did he? Up to 5th place now. So that's 4 places on lap 1. And CRBZ, as I said, been promoted from split 3. He's been winning everything really in split 3. And very, very fast. His actually PB was better than mine, so certainly didn't deserve to be in split 3. Should be in split 1. He's definitely a split 1 driver. And only 6/10 away from him now then. So as I said, Sal was very fast in a straight line, so I'm going to have trouble overtaking him, particularly on this track. If you remember, if you've watched, subscribed to me for a while, last season's ARL Spa race, it was running actually, funnily enough, but he was in a Sauber, and I was battling with him for most of the race. I just couldn't pull away from him. He just kept cruising past me. It was an absolute nightmare, so hopefully I can get past the CWZ fairly soon. I'm up to 5th already after the first lap, so it's not too bad, but certainly to make some more progress than that. So nice seeing a slipstream now then. It's actually quite handy being close to a Sauber because, of course, when they power down the straights, you're following them, and you get the slipstream from them. So actually, it would be nice to stay behind him for a little while. You see now I am definitely in a slipstream. Gonna go to standard mix, it looks like, in just a second. There we go, conserve a bit of fuel. Only got +3, not too much. Only half a second behind CWZ. He runs a bit wide, but I do more so. That's cost me time. I've fallen back from him. That's not what I need to be doing. Oh, he's run right out wide there, right out on maybe even the gravel, but definitely the grass. That's going to cost him to the next corner, having grass on his outside tyre, which it does indeed. He's slow. And once again, he runs right out wide there. That's allowed me to be nice and close. And here we go then, into P1. Lots of dirty air though, getting on the throttle reasonably early though, into slipstream still. So let's see if I can get him on the next straight down to bus stop chicane in a few corners time. Through this high speed chicane. Well, it's high speed for a chicane, I guess. A lot of chicanes tend to be second and first gear corners. And now coming to the end of second sector. Oh, he's got a bit on the curb but managed to avoid the gravel. And just 6/10 now, same as it was before. So I haven't lost any time in middle sector, which is good in his dirty air. I'm now on Rich, 2.6 to include behind, so that's good. Putting on a nice gap. But you can see, looking on the mini-map, the leaders are pulling away. Need to stop that from happening. Before this race, I led the championship by, I believe, 7 points. So the closer I can finish to Ownage, even if I don't beat him, the better. I need to minimise points lost to him. That's now on the exit of the bus stop chicane, coming to the start-finish line. As he's over a second. He gained absolutely loads on me down that last straight, and unfortunately, I'm probably not going to get DRS, but I'm still going to push for it. It's going to be close. Going to Rich now then. 49.8 for Ownage, 50.6 for me. He's almost a second quick on that last lap. Looks like I'm probably not going to get DRS. So he's managed to put out loads on me in that final straight there. I'm still on Rich, hoping to get just a bit of DRS. Let's see. No, didn't get it. I believe he's got it on the car in front, so he's going to be pulling away from me miles now. Let's see. 1.6, so 6/10 in one sector. Regardless of easy, even if he's used Rich, DRS, everything, that's a lot of time to gain. And looking at it, he might not have had DRS, he's not all that close to him. But I need to keep pushing hard now, particularly in this middle sector, where I know the Sauber isn't quite so strong as the Williams. We do play on equal cars, but there is a slight difference. And I do say slight, it's not a big difference at all, but on this track, as I said, the Sauber does have a reasonable advantage just because it's straight line speed. The two very long straights, it's a reasonably high downforce circuit, so the two very long straights. It really does gain, he's run right out wide there, not sure if he got on the gravel or not. But I should hopefully compromise him. He's once again out on the curb there, but 1.5, so I've only managed to gain a 10th middle sector. So not a lot, he might still be on Rich, though. Currently wishing I started on conservative fuel, so I had a few more laps of Rich. I'm conserving it for towards the end of the race. Let's see then. So what was it, 1.6? 1.5 actually I think it was, at the end of the second sector. Let's see what it's going to be at the end of the third sector. He's certainly a lot closer to the guy ahead. And what's the time? 1.8, so it's not too bad. 3/10 in a sector, that's not as bad as it was. But unfortunately he's now going to get DRS on the car ahead. I'm going to fall further back. Let's have a look then. 1.8 seconds. Let's see how much that Sauber can gain. Unfortunately, David disconnects there. Let's see how much that Sauber can gain in one relatively short sector that's mostly full throttle with a long straight with DRS and possibly Rich mixture. You can't even see him in the distance. Look at that. Wow. Okay. 2.7. Almost a second. I believe it was 1.8, wasn't it, as we crossed the line? Almost a second he gained in a single sector. I think even if I was on Rich, that would have maybe given me a couple of tenths, but we still would have been over half a second, so there's not a lot I can do about that, is there? I had a pretty good sector, and there was just no way I could have been anywhere near that. So, of course, he's got slipstream as well on the car ahead, which certainly helps, which is not what I need with a Sauber that's already very quick. But it's a 4-cylinder ahead of him, so hopefully I'll be able to get him. because he'll have similar traits to me, fairly slow in a straight line, but good in the corners. So hopefully I can get the Force India just ahead, but only 5th, already on lap 4. And they're starting to pull away from me. Got a nice big gap to behind, but they're also pulling away ahead. But it looks like they're actually closing down on the leaders, so there's not much between everyone. Top 5 really, but I'm the furthest back. So that's not good. 2.1 now though. So, well, I'm probably going to lose more, but what was it, 2.7 beginning of the sector, so I've managed to gain 6/10 back. But this sector again, I'm expecting him to pull away. No DRS of course, even if he's on rich and got a slipstream. Let's see what he's going to gain. Was it 2.1 I believe? Looks like he might have gained on him actually. Let's have a look. Let's cross the line. I have indeed, again a 10th. So that's looking pretty good. So we now skip ahead to lap 8, 3 laps later. And as you can see there, CRBZ managed to get past Chicane in the Force India. I'm now hunting him down, but unfortunately it's been a very tricky couple of laps because of course Chicane has managed to stay close enough to get slipstream and DRS every single lap. So he's slipstreaming on the very fast Sauber and he's getting DRS off it. So I'm not really able to get close to them because the Force India's traits that are similar to mine, so slow straight line speed, are being negated by being right behind a Sauber. So I need to try and close that. There we go, 2.1, 4/10 in a single sector on a car that's got similar traits to mine. So it's a lot of time, but let's hope it affects them in the dirty air being so close to each other. And I can hopefully close down in this middle sector. Let's see. I'm going to tell you how I've had to push very hard just to get this close. I started to fall back and decided to really push extremely hard to try and catch up to them, but as I said, it's been tricky for all the reasons I listed before. The fact that the Force India is getting a nice lot of slipstream straight line speed off of the Sauber, and Mike's now behind me after his first corner incident. Wasn't caused by him, just a bit unfortunate really to get hit by a spinning Red Bull, running it was. But he's certainly closing in on me. And someone just running to the gravel there. I'm certainly a lot closer, only a second now. So getting a lot in the middle sector. I'm now on rich. Just desperate trying to get into this slipstream party and DRS party that they've got going on. And I'm not quite there yet. I need to have a very good final chicane and I might just about scrape DRS. So I'm still on rich then of course. They might not be anymore. In fact, they're probably not anymore. This looks like I might be just about inside the zone then. Yes, should be comfortably inside the zone. I'm going to go with 7/10. 2/10. That seems a bit much. I don't think I'm that close. But still, I should get DRS. Oh, CRBZ runs a bit wide there. So do I, though. And I should get DRS using about half my curves, just to stay within touching distance. Hopefully, I can get slipstream, but I think they're already too far ahead to get slipstream. Sauber putting them both away. And let's see, do I get DRS? I do. That's certainly going to help. And Mike behind me pits. Very early in the revolution, though. Still a second though, so they actually overall still gained on me in that sector, despite me even getting DRS and being on rich for a lot of it. So unfortunately, it just hasn't really worked. I don't know how come this tricky right-hander, soft camber, pretty tricky to get around there. You get lots of understeer. Now coming down into P1. Just behind chicane now, you can see the camera's wobbling. I've got a bit of slipstream off him, but that's going to cost me into this next corner with dirty air. You can see there, yes, almost went right out on the curb. Need to be careful with that. It's actually Victor's pitted as well from the lead. Well, I think he was second place actually. Pitted quite early for a set of options. Does that now come through? In the second sector, just 6/10 then behind chicane, so we're going to get a nice lot of slipstream. I think he might have even fallen back from the Sauber ahead. Just sticking on the standard then, don't want to waste rich, man. I've got slipstream anyway, I'm gaining. I suspect a slipstream down one of these straights is equivalent to our using rich down one of these straights. Of course, if you use both, it's double, but I just want to stick with him. I don't really want to overtake him just yet. That's coming to chicane now. Hopefully I should still get DRS. Yes, plenty close enough. And I should be within a second. Yes, 6/10, plenty close enough, so we're going to stick to standard then. Once again, not bother with rich. Should be pretty comfortable to get DRS, but he seems to be pulling with me a little bit. I should still get DRS though. Bit of curves there. Should still get DRS without too many issues. Just going through a rouge now. Should get DRS about halfway down this next straight. There's the boards. Here we go. And no, I don't get it. I don't get DRS. Wow. Well, that's partly a mistake. That was a bit of a mistake on my part, but 1.4. God, 8 tenths in one sector just because I didn't get DRS and stayed on standard. Wow. So much time. So much time. So it's not going too well, really. Yes, as I said, partly my mistake, really, but I would have thought 6 tenths. So I could keep a 4 tenths gap with just one corner and a bit of slipstream, so I'm not sure what happened there. Perhaps he went to rich and used lots of curves. Bit strange. There we go. You saw me there selecting options. I'm probably going to pit this lap. As I said, we saw Victor pitting quite early. I'm going to pit. You can see, it's supposed to be pitting on lap 13, so that's going to be quite early. What's that? 2 laps earlier than, or 3 laps really, earlier than what I planned. But tyre wear is pretty low on this track, so I'm not too worried. I want to be on the faster options, brand new option tyres, of course. Just over a second once again on chicane. So let's reset the option tyres just to make sure. Look how much that Sauber's pulled out, 14 year ahead. Not too much, but enough as chicane stays out, but CRBZ comes in with me in the Sauber. So we are both into the pits. Hopefully I can stay nice and close to him. Must have been, what, 2-3 seconds as we came into the pits. Somewhere around there. Probably about 2 seconds. So I'll pull into my box. Get a pretty decent stop, 2.9. But CRBZ is already out of the pit lane. Fitted as the fastest lap there. As long as I'm ahead of Mikey behind, which I am comfortably. Not too many issues, but now I need to push hard. Of course, we were battling with chicane before we came into the pits. He will now have to stay out 1 extra lap at least, depending on when he wants to pit. On his used prime tyres, and I'm on brand new options, so pushing very hard now. You see I'm on rich, partly to try and close up CRBZ, but mainly to try and get ahead of chicane in the pit stops. Already feels better, 9.5 down on last lap. Let's see if I can get that much down. If I can get that below 9.5 at the end of the second sector, it means I've gone faster than the previous lap in the middle sector. So that's what I need to be doing. So it was 9.5. Hopefully I can get it down to about 8.5. Probably need about a second, I would say, to get past chicane. A bit more just to get past, but a second would put me right behind him. Hopefully give me DRS and enable me to overtake him. But ideally a bit more, we'll see. Come for chicane now. And of course, towards the end of the second sector, we'll get a time in just a second. What is it going to be? 9.3, so only gained 2 tenths middle sector. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. That's with Rich as well, so it's not looking good. But hopefully I can get just close enough to be nice in the slipstream. Maybe if I can't overtake him this lap, overtake him next lap. This is only 2.9 to Mikey now behind. But that's a reasonable gap. We're halfway through the race now, so hopefully I'll be able to maintain that. But of course he's in a Sauber, which we know is very quick on this track. Going through the bus stop chicane then, towards the start finish line. Chicane is in the pit, so I need to try and get out ahead of him if I can. As he's there alongside me now in the pits. Just come around the bend. Of course he takes a slightly shorter line than me inside that pit wall there. And there he is, just ahead of me, but I don't really want to be side by side with him. Go into a rouge, I'm going to go to standard mix. Listen to the throttle. Couldn't really hear it, but I did just ease off a little bit. Just want to stay just this distance so I can get DRS. And now hopefully just fly past him, saved all my curves. And now I'm going to use DRS and curves. Double trouble. And there we go, flown straight past him, so my plan worked perfectly. Cost me a little bit of time to see CRBZ ahead because I wasn't full throttle. But it allowed me to get past chicane nice and comfortably, so it was worth it. So 2.7 now to CRBZ ahead. And hopefully I can close that gap down now and overtake him for a podium spot. Podium would be good, considering my grid position anyway. Podium would be pretty good. I'll be happy with that. But we'll have to wait and see. CRBZ certainly isn't slow as we've seen. I've been struggling to catch up with him, but I did probably just about have the pace on him in the first stint, but only by a very small amount. Very, very small amount. He's not quite as consistent as me, so hopefully that'll play into my hands. And I can reel him in. It's lap 12 or 22 then, we're just over halfway through this race. And you see it's equal distance to in front and behind. Chicane's dropped a lot back on me in the middle sector. Certainly had a scruffy one, didn't he? Wow. 2.8 to the car ahead, 2.8 to the car behind. Big difference. I'm now rich, you can see, for this straight. Just trying to eke out everything that I can. Gonna be a bus stop chicane now then. Oh, bit of oversteer. And Mike's now got past chicane, and now 2.6 to the car ahead, so it's looking pretty good. But as I flip now, just to the end of lap 14, watch the curves down the bottom right. Unfortunately, it now does fail on lap 14 and now 15. So, certainly not a good thing, especially when I'm trying to keep Mikey behind, but I managed to pull out a bit of a gap, not closing on CRBZ over the last couple of laps. And we now skip a couple of laps ahead, 3 laps to be precise. Still no curves. You can see that I've had to use my rich mixture down the straights to compensate. And you see that's allowed Mikey to close right up to me. But now my curves will come back, I believe. Could be wrong. I thought it comes back here. Does it? Yes, it does. There we go. I was right. So I've lost time to CRBZ ahead, but I've just been concentrating on Mike behind, just trying to pull out, or keep him away from the DRS zone without my curves. It's been very tricky. I estimate it cost me about 4/10 a lap without curves, if not a bit more. So it's a lot of time, only over 3 laps, but that's about almost a second and a half. I would have lost to him behind, or lost time to myself really. And I haven't actually really lost that much time, because I've been using my fuel instead. I've been going to rich more than I would like, but of course now it's cost me fuel instead. Now I'm on optimal, and I must be running pretty low on fuel. But Mikey just behind then. He did get DRS down that last straight, but I was far enough ahead to keep him well behind. As we now come down into P1, Mikey runs right out wide there. So he's trying to push to keep him out of my slipstream, because Sauber, with its good straight line speed, plus slipstream and DRS if he gets it, is a complete nightmare. We're lap 18 and 22, so there's only a few laps left to go, not long. I haven't mentioned the rain yet. There was a 17% chance of rain, I believe. I believe it was somewhere around 17. And you see now the clouds are starting to darken. I could do with absolutely hoofing it down, because then I might even be able to clinch the win, but at the moment it's not looking good, is it? 4 seconds behind CRBZ now, and the leaders are even further ahead, so certainly haven't really got the pace to be up there. But I'm just concentrating on Mikey behind now, just trying to keep him behind. And I think it looks like we have to settle for 4th, but I do want it to be 4th. I don't want it to go down to 5th. I don't want to let Mikey pass if I can help it. You can see that one rich once again, using fuel that I haven't really got, but just hoping that it'll last. Trying to keep him out my DRS zone, but no, that's not happened. So we now skip a couple laps to the end, just 2 laps left to go, and I've managed to keep Mikey behind, but you can see that I'm now on -1 fuel, so I'm having to be really conservative with my fuel. Just 8/10 behind Mikey. CRBZ's fallen back a bit on his times. He's only just ahead now at 2.8, but I doubt I'll catch him. And now I'm rich, even though I'm on -1, I'm having to go to rich, just because I know I'll get DRS. I do not want him just flying past me. He's going to be pretty close though. Hopefully it'll be alright with rich mixture. And yes, I think I'm just about going to stay ahead. And indeed. I've now gone straight to lean to try and get that fuel back down to optimal. -1 means I will not get to the end of the race. With the amount of fuel I've got left, I've got to do some fuel conservation. So 2/10 to Mikey behind, but it's very difficult to overtake in this middle sector. Of course he'll have dirty air as well, so hopefully I can keep ahead even with lean. It's coming down now, this left-hander. Runs a little bit wide, but not too bad. Coming down to P1, once again he is a little way behind me. He's managed to actually fall back as he runs wide there, right out over the curb. Wow, I did well to come back from that. Whether it was the lag or whether he's got soft suspension, I'm not too sure. But that probably would have thrown me. If I actually did that, that would have thrown me right off the circuit. So that would have gifted me this position if he did that, but unfortunately he didn't quite do it. And I'm still on lean, but still -1. I'm going to have to go to standard. I can't stay on lean for this straight. He'll fly straight past me. He's probably even on rich, actually, wouldn't surprise me. So unfortunately using fuel that I haven't really got again. Standard pretty much keeps you equal. Doesn't use full fuel, doesn't take any fuel away. Lean of course takes it away. There we go, just back to optimal now then, so that's looking good, but of course I'm going to need to use it. Coming into the final lap now, I'm going to need to use it. Look how close he is behind me. It's his closest yet by far. He might be able to get into first corner, but stick to the middle rather. And yep, stuck to the middle, and actually he's dropped back a bit. That might even gift me this position. I'm going to try and stick on standard though. I'm going to have to. I haven't really got a choice. Try to save my curves to the end of the lap just in case he doesn't get past me. Decide to go to lean because I decide that it's over. Look how close he's behind me and he's got DRS. But I'm now going to dive into a slipstream, use a bit of curves to neutralise the speed difference so I can gain more slipstream. And now try and stick with him and use my bit of curves down the final straight and hopefully get him back. That's my only choice now with the fuel I've got left. So having to stick to standard then in this middle sector just to try and stay with him. With the benefit of hindsight, I probably wish I went lean in the middle sector. So I probably would have been able to stick with him even with lean. But of course I will never know that. I might have dropped back from him, so it wasn't worth the risk at the time. I stuck with standard fuel. And it's slipstream nicely coming down to P1. This is the corner that's going to affect me the most with lots of dirty air. Yeah, as you can see there, look, loads of understeer. Almost went over the curb. That would have been the end of this race. Within this position battle, really. And now coming into the chicane. Still nice and close behind him, but not really close enough as I run wide there. Pushing very hard now, you can see. So gone to standard now. And once again, pushing hard right on the curb. Using my curves now then. Nice and close to him. Only half a second behind in his slipstream nicely. I'm now on rich mixture then. One other last start. It's already on -1. And I'm not really closing on them. There's the power of the Sauber straight line speed. Rich mixture. Even if he's on rich. In his slipstream, couldn't gain anything, and no, that's the race over for me. 5th place it is then, not bad again now, into lean for the final chicane. Back to stand up for the run to the line. I actually ran out of fuel just before the line. And there we go. I'll show you the table results because there's been a few penalties. Jerome got a penalty, but then got it taken away. Ownage, my teammate, so he actually won the race. And FP Pesher Victor did get a penalty. That was for blocking. He ran out of fuel on the last lap, blocked Jerome a little bit. And got a penalty, so I actually winded up in 4th position then. And actually with Onage's penalty, if he didn't get that removed, I was in 3rd ahead of him and actually gained points. So a little bit disappointed that got removed, but there we go. So he ended up winning that race then. He's won the last 2, so it's pretty strong from him. And I obviously got 4th, and that now puts me behind him again in the championship. Unfortunately, 7 points behind. But I like Singapore very much, which is the next track. So hopefully I can close the gap back down to him and hopefully even overtake him. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.